Hey everyone, it's Alexis. I am back with a brand new video. Happy Monday. Thank you for being here. Happy holidays. Happy December also. So you guys, today I am talking about, as always, manifestation, specifically about relationships, also my most common theme, right? And today let's really talk about how to identify in some specific ways, accessing the version of you as well as the version of the person that you are manifesting for, who is your SP, or any, and you can use this in any relationship. All right. Before I get started, the links for booking one-on-one coaching, one-on-one hypnosis, the links for booking or purchasing any of my courses, pre-recorded hypnosis audios, they are in the box below. And thank you for being here. Thank you for investing your time in this information and really showing up for yourself and your reality. Let's intend right now that you get something specific and something amazing out of this video, and it clears up the anything that you might be questioning and wondering during this time about you and manifesting, creating your ideal relationship. Okay. So I have done so many videos on this topic, and I have done so many videos on how do we change people? How do we manifest the ideal relationship? And the thing that I am consistently reminded of with my one-on-one clients and in my own journey is that, as you already know, or if you've heard this, it comes down to us. So as a reminder, let's just do a refresher today on what your reality is, how you have already created your reality, and that your reality comes from you. It's a projection of you. Okay. So I actually used this example this week with a client of mine. And I happen to have, it is so dry these days as it gets colder that I happen to have this lotion dispenser, which ends up being a really great explanation for your mind. So like I said, let's do a refresher on what your mind is to begin with. Okay. So your mind, let's say this is your mind, but it's also, I'm saying today that it's your mind and it's your body, because your mind and your body is your total experience. It's all of the energy of you. And that this is an example for this. So before I actually jump into this example, what I want to dispel today also is, even though you are made up of your mind and there are three aspects to your mind and your mind creates your reality, what we also don't want to do in relationships with a person is get so caught up in our heads. Actually, when you're so caught up in your head, or I hear this a lot from my one-on-one clients, my brain says this, my mind says this. I understand that your thoughts are the basis of everything, but it does not mean that I encourage you to spend all of your time in your upper hemisphere thinking and affirming and just being up here all the time. In fact, you guys, this has already created so many of our problems that we see on planet Earth with relationships, being in the head, being in the mind, in a negative head mind space, and not connected to the totality of the mind, which is the subconscious mind, which is all of you. Okay. All right. That is just a general tip. Okay. Now let's go into, who are you? What is the totality of you that is the whole mind? It is your subconscious, your conscious, and the critical filter in between. Okay. So the thing is this, when you're caught up in just doing all your affirmations, all of your thinking, doing a bunch of things up here, you're only really using 5% of you. Think of it like this. You have a subconscious mind, which is 95% of you. We have the conscious mind, which is 5% to 10% of you. In between the two, we have a critical filter, which is just like a gatekeeper that holds all of the information into the subconscious mind. What we want to do is use the new thoughts, the new perspective, the new version of you, the new version of your person, to fully embed it in the subconscious mind. So what does that look like? What does that mean? Alexis, does that mean listening to the Parrot app? Does that mean doing a bunch of affirmations? Does that mean visualizing? Does that mean feeling? Now, right away, I want to say that our actual true process of creation and manifesting your relationship and manifesting your person, it is intrinsically different for each of us. We all have a certain way that we can imprint the subconscious mind, which is the totality of you, in an easy, effective way, which is a beautiful thing. That's why you want to take time with your manifestation and your create your reality creation journey. This is a journey of just you figuring out, guess who? You. It's you understanding, okay, so what is the best way that I can really resonate with the totality of me? What I see that is an issue that a lot of people do is just do a bunch of affirmations, but nothing is happening. And that's because whatever practice they're employing to embed it to affect the subconscious mind, it's not resonating with the totality of them. That's why Neville Goddard wrote the book, Feeling is the Secret. And then he also talks about the mental diet. He also talks about inner conversations, right? Now, over the years, I have had some people that I've worked with who do visualize, and that really helps as part of the process. Some people do more of an affirmation practice and visualization. The thing is this, we know that your thoughts create and your thoughts are things. So no matter what you're doing, we need to have the proper mental diet and have thought control. I'm going to say that again. We need to have the proper mental diet and we have to have thought control, because your thought is the basis of all consciousness. What I know to be true is that really the idea of doing one visualization, one picture in the mind, dropping it, letting it go has never worked for anyone that I have coached. And I am just saying that as a fact. If it worked, then I would be here talking about visualizing that, letting it go, dropping it, no big deal, that works. But you guys, I've never had anyone that's done that. I have never put that into practice and it's worked for me. And I will say at this point that I've consciously created we all have, right? But I'm very aware that I've consciously created the reality that I am part of, and that I am 98.5% content, happy, satisfied, leaving always room for improvement. Okay. So the thing is this, your thought and the thoughts that you're thinking are transmitting and creating the version of you and the version of your person. We need to find a way to relax and let go of the critical filter in between. If we're not doing this, then the information is not embedding and sinking in and resonating with the subconscious. We need to be having a practice where you are thinking new thoughts, feeling new feelings, and deciding who the person is and who you are deeply within you. What people are often missing in this whole practice is just thinking some things, deciding some things, and doing that once in a while or whenever I think about it or all the time, but it's not really resonating, not really connecting with. Now, what I find is that what a lot of people are resonating and really deeply connecting with is the version of them that they've always been in relationships, which might be feeling abandoned, feeling rejected, feeling sad, feeling hurt. If this is you, then I want to encourage you to fully decide that things for you now and in this new year are different, that this is a new path, a new year, a new place, a new space for you to create and manifest exactly who you want to be and who you want your person to be, but deciding that you are that person now and that they are that person now. And even as I say this in another video, there's a little egg behind me here, one of my son's toys. You can even look at the mind as this way, right? There's a part of the mind that is the conscious mind. The greater totality of you is the subconscious mind, and that it all stays the same unless we can create a way to relax and let go of the critical filter that's in between the two, that fully allows for the impressing of the new thought onto the subconscious mind. That's why a lot of people find that hypnosis is so helpful and so soothing, because hypnosis naturally lets down the critical filter in between and it allows for new information because you're in a sleeping state. Neville Goddard also talked about SATs, which was state akin to sleep, which is hypnosis, okay? Hypnosis has been practiced way before any of this was ever written about in Egypt years ago. So in any event, let's think about, how do you stay on track with deciding, and this is the whole embodiment practice. If you have watched videos or heard content about embodying and being, this is it. It is embodying and being the version of you and the version of them and the relationship now that is of the desired state, but thinking that into existence. And your feeling is preceded by thought, meaning your thoughts create your feeling. So your thoughts, you guys, create everything. Keep it simple with yourself and be remembering and reminding yourself that if you are in between creating your person, if you're still working on it, or you're in the middle of, you've had some movement, or maybe you've had no movement, or maybe you're really figuring out yourself and what you're working on, that your thought and the thoughts that you're thinking create everything. Can it be that simple? Is it that simple? Yes, it is. But it takes understanding that the racing mind, the monkey mind, the mind that tries to overanalyze, overthink, and overcapitulate, and over this, over that, everything. That is not actually the inner voice or the mind that we're using to manifest. Oh my gosh. So like, what does that mean? It's like, are there different minds in my mind? No, it is saying that we need to remove the barrier in between the mind and the subconscious mind to really focus and embed and think easily. I was going to say effortlessly, but it's not really effortlessly. It's easily, consistently, and with determination of what you're creating with your thoughts. That's why a lot of people do end up finding the robotic affirming idea in this kind of community. And I understand that that might really help focus because all you're thinking are the same thoughts like a robot. But really, you need to be thinking thoughts of the version of you and the version of your person that is of what you want, not grabbing a bunch of affirmations that are robotic affirming idea that, oh, you think this, you get what you want. That might not be enough, because what we have to do is change the story in the subconscious mind. Change the story that is embedded deeply within you and allow the new thoughts to resonate with the totality of you. Now, just as some examples though that I've used in a lot of videos that I'm going to also use today, that a lot of people walking around are doing all of this work without having a feeling and a foundation and a sense and a thought of three things: safety, security, and stability. So if you're tending to, out of anxiety, manifest and create for your person and for you, I want you to stop having that approach to your conscious creation practice. We want to instead handle the anxiety. And nobody is born having anxiety. It is something that we end up having and having in relationships because of previous abandonment and or rejection. But you want to understand that, okay, my mind tends to get anxious about this. So when it tends to get anxious, I am going to sit with myself and turn off the racing mind, sit with my true actual feeling about what's going on. Now, when you really begin to do this as a human being, you might feel so overwhelmed, you guys, with the feelings that you're actually feeling in the moment. But the thing is this, is that the rapid thinking, overthinking mind that's always thinking something, overanalyzing, overthinking, oh my gosh, Alexis, I'm such a logical thinker. I'm always thinking. We want to slow down that mind and really pay attention to, okay, am I avoiding feeling something because all my overthinking gets me in my head? What am I actually feeling in my body about this? What's actually going on with me? Oh, I feel kind of sad that this is going this way, or I feel kind of frustrated that they said this to me, or I just feel kind of irritated that this is going on. Now, the funny thing about our feelings is that there is no way out but through. So I want you to practice this month and right now just feeling what you feel and not trying to overthink it and trying to outthink it. Now, some would say, oh, isn't feeling the secret? Do I need to be living in the end feeling all of the time? Well, yes. But how we get to the living in the end feeling is feeling the present moment feelings now. I was telling a client of mine that I was rereading or reading for the first time Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now with my husband. And I thought, oh my gosh, he's saying all the things that I've been saying in videos, but I'm saying them about relationships. Can you actually believe I haven't read that book till now? I think the video might have skipped. I intend I'm back on. But there is the power in the moment. The now moment is where our power is. The now moment, the embodiment of the here and the now, and the being in the moment with your current feeling is where the secret really is. Because most of us have been running from our feelings, running from our emotions, because of that's how our parents did it. And frankly, that's probably how your parents' parents did it. And maybe even the parents of the parents of the parents. But now, through conscious creation, there is nothing to fear and nothing to have to avoid. It's actually being with you to understand through my experience of being with my feeling and my emotion now. I can then be in the feeling of, no, I'm feeling that. I'm feeling hurt. I'm feeling sad, accepting it, breathing through it. And then as you feel through that feeling and accept it, it's so much easier to feel stable, secure, and safe. And to be feeling like, no, we are back together. We are back together. I am feeling in the relationship now. You see what I'm saying? The more that you're thinking and doing a bunch of things and having a bunch of techniques, you're really getting out of being in connection with the totality of the subconscious, which is you. Okay. So we need to be having a practice, which is, yes, your mental diet. I encourage you to experiment with understanding, how can I really create a process for myself that works for me, that resonates with me, and that I like doing. Okay. Am I visual? Do I like to visualize and see things? If you are, you want to incorporate seeing your affirmations in your mind, looking at new thoughts on paper, doing note cards. If you are hearing, if you're someone that likes to listen to music, you know, and this is the thing for those of you out there that are going to say, oh, I like doing it all. Okay, I get it. But there is going to be one way that works for you that you're going to like, that's going to click. It's going to resonate with you. If you haven't found this yet, go on a little bit of an investigation and adventure, right? Listening to affirmations, listening to something, right? Listening to like the Parrot app, people like that. I have hypnosis affirmation audios that are for auditory people, along with visualizing though, because it's like hypnosis is a little different, where it's multiple learning things for multiple kinds. Okay. And then there's the kinesthetic people that are really into feeling it, being, I was going to say feeling is the secret because of the Neville speak, but feeling being how you learn, which feeling people are people that think and say, I got it. Do you get me? You want to be thinking, I got it. And through somehow, some way, imprinting the mind with the understanding of, I get it, I got it, it's good. Okay. So you kind of want to be investigating and learning, how do I imprint my mind? There is an easy way for me to do this. This isn't something that I have to go out and spend years and a bunch of stuff and a bunch of things figuring out and doing. No, I need to understand, who am I primarily first? And you guys, just to remind you, everything for you is possible. Your mind is here to help you. Your mind just needs to learn and understand that everything is possible and that all potentials exist for you, because it's true. The version of your person, who they've been, has nothing to do with who they can be. The version of you, who you've been, has nothing to do with who you can be. Frankly, whatever you've seen, whatever you experience up until this moment, really has nothing to do with who you can be, because the future is being created by you right now. Now, as I say the word now, that is the other reason why we have to figure out a way to be in the now and into understanding all of these concepts, because the now is creating the future. Who you decide you are now, who you decide they are now, what you decide and think is going on is what will end up happening in the future timeline. Think about your timeline as a trajectory. Everyone's timeline, which is interesting too, is different. Some people view their timeline as being a place that passes through them, that is left to right. Some people say it's forwards and backwards. Some people feel like their timeline is diagonal, right? We are all so unique and so individual. And you want to understand, okay, though I have a timeline, like, where's my timeline? When I think of my future, where is it? Is it there? 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 Where is it? And the thing is that we can also move the timeline. That's a whole different hypnotic NLP technique. But you guys, this is all up for grabs. You can do, be, or have anything you want to be. Just using even the timeline as an analogy, that's not even really real. It is what you want it to be. It is who you've been, but it's like, oh, who do I want to be now? Right? You get it? Okay. So in any event, we want to embark on the new year going into 2025 thinking, this is going to be my best year. This is my best year for me and my relationship and my person. I am the one creating this. I am creating who they can be, who they are. If you've had off and on success this year, some rejection, some things working, or maybe you just found this information and you're like, wait, what? Wait, hold on. I create my reality. My thoughts create. My thoughts are that significant that I can create everything within me. Wait, what? If you just found this, like, let's use this as a beautiful journey for you to self-actualize, figure out who you are and who they are, because how you describe them to be in your conscious mind and impressing it into your subconscious mind is how it ends up playing out. It is what ends up happening. Now, we need to really embed and really influence and really decide and really think who the person is for it to resonate and click with the subconscious. Keys to how you know that your subconscious is on board and getting it and understands are things like birds before land, or seeing things that are like the person, aspects of the person, or seeing them do some things and then seeing the opposite happen. Or maybe you start seeing the person's name everywhere if you're manifesting someone back. Those are all birds before land, which are indicators that you're on the right track, that you're on the route to it happening, and that them physically or through your phone are coming in next, okay? I can just hear people thinking, okay, so how do I know? And I've heard this before. How do I know my subconscious is getting it? How do I know that it's becoming true for me? Well, usually if you see indicators are things, anything about the person. The other indicator is you get pursued and you get chased or you get adored by people that aren't the person. So this means that this is you and this is happening to you. I want you to say, oh my gosh, I'm being pursued. Like all these people are into me. He or she, they are next, right? What you do not want to do is get angry, frustrated, mad at the precursory evidence, bird before land. I don't like the bird before land because the acronym is BBL. So people say that to me in session, BBL, and the first thing that I think of is Brazilian butt lift, okay? Which is also, I've read recently, going out of style, so maybe I'll stop thinking about it, okay? Just as some humor, okay, keeping it light. But you guys, like, you want to be knowing that this is how things work. Your conscious mind influences your subconscious mind. Find a way to do that that works for you, that clicks, that resonates. If you have not yet found that, I want you to be saying to yourself, I am figuring out a way to create my reality that is easy and effortless and clicks and works for me. I am on the route to figuring it out as I manifest and as I create my person and me in our relationship. Because once again, your relationship and who you are in it, who your person is, it comes down to you. The thoughts of self, the thoughts of them, the thoughts of it all. To keep it simple, over time, some clients have liked having a mantra, which is like 3 to 4 sentences about the person that decides who they are, like a quick and easy way to focus on it. Now that works for people, again, because it's just the focus and just the determination. Other people like to have a whole story or a rampage or a collection of thoughts about the person that they say about themselves and about the relationship. Again, there is a secret sauce and a special way for you uniquely to do this. But this means also overcoming and rewriting abandonment, rejection, wounds of the past, and bringing yourself into the now, saying, I am in the now. I am creating a new path of thought. I am creating a new future timeline. I am creating new events on the timeline in the future. This is all happening for me in perfect timing. This is happening for me in 2025. This is happening for me in an amazing way. I'm finally getting this. I understand this. This resonates with me. It clicks with me. Okay? Because you can. There is an easy way. Now, I say easy with the caveat of it will still take persistence and diligence to implement the way, okay? But that there is a way that this can click and resonate with you. And over time, that's why this is so individual with each and every client that I work with. That's why I'm really not for some mass affirmation list or this is the key to it all. It really isn't like that because we are each so individual, knowing that even in our individuality, we know that there are 3 things: the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, the critical filter, the critical faculty in between. Now, that third thing, the critical filter, is the thing that I don't see talked about by anyone because most people that are talking about this information have not actually spent time working with one-on-one people and they haven't attended the right training to be discussing this information. Okay. I have put in I went to school, this is just a personal plug, okay, but I went to school for hypnotherapy, clinical hypnotherapy for a year, in-person training, and I hypnotized over 200 people to understand how the mind worked. I won various awards, gave a speech at my graduation, etc., so that I could be an expert in this field to talk about it. And then years later, I found my niche market, niche being how I like to work with relationships, okay? So that critical filter in between is the thing that most people are doing a bunch of affirmations, a bunch of practices, and it's still keeping the information in the subconscious. I can't say this enough. That's why you do want your practice to be light, effortless, and a part of you, because the more that it's a part of you, the more that you get into the embodiment of you and them and what you want, being it, thinking it into existence with the totality of you, the critical filter in between the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, it's naturally open, it's in abeyance, which means that it is not holding up. Like, think of your critical filter as a bouncer in between the conscious and subconscious mind. It holds all the information in the subconscious. We want that loosey-goosey. We want the subconscious to be open and available to the new idea, new thought, new perspective, new relationship. Again, that's why hypnosis, a lot of people find it so effortless and easy. As long as you're not going into a hypnosis session with me saying, I can't be hypnotized. That is not even true for anyone. It's like saying, I can't relax. Okay. You can relax. You can be hypnotized. You just have to release control. And again, allow that critical filter to be open and available so that the subconscious is open and available. Okay. The more rigid we are, the more that we are up in our heads, overanalyzing, overthinking, capitulating everything, the less you are connected with the totality of you. Now, another way that you can do this is to spend time driving your consciousness or focusing on your consciousness, being in your heart center, being in your body, being in your whole being. That is another way to visualize and to think that your whole being is you. And that gets you out of overthinking, overanalyzing, and spending so much time up here. Just because I say that your thought is the basis of all does not mean that you want to identify as an overthinker, overanalyzer. All you do is spend time in your head. That's not a fun place to be. And you're in a human body, you guys. The energy of you is a full, total human experience. You and your SP and your relationship exist within you. So we need the new you, the new them, the new relationship to exist within you in persistency, consistency, diligently, in the correct way for you, and it will all happen and unfold. Okay. So I am wishing you the very best this time of year, having a great holiday as we embark on the end of 2024, going into the new year of 2025. And I'm here to help. If you want to have my perspective, book a session. Let's do this. Let's get it going. And really having me help you figure out what's the best way for you to create your reality is also something we can do together. If you want to try hypnosis too, I have a bunch of pre-recorded hypnosis audios that are very affordable, and you can try it out, see if you like it, and really get into a relaxed state. It's a great way to maintain calm, cool, collected feeling, sensation throughout the day. All right. I love you guys so much. Celebrate yourself today. Remind yourself how awesome you are and that your thought is the basis of all, that you are consciousness and that your subconscious is what projects into your reality. So let's influence it correctly, easily, effortlessly. You got this. I'll see you in my next video. Have an awesome week. Bye.